I-95 southbound between Chippenham and Willis Road.
See what I'm telling you? Every morning there's an accident.
A tractor trailer and an SUV, and we haven't seen any backups yet on the southbound side of I-95. Taillights are heading toward the accident scene. All travel lanes are open, but as the rush hour goes on, you may see delays starting to build in the area. Actually, it looks like we're picking up a little bit of volume on the northbound side.
I told you, work, God, work them.
Working in the east end. This is
Work them.
northbound, right
Take them out.
I-64. It's exit 28, and we haven't seen any backups yet, but I'm going to keep my eye out on that one. The earlier accident is clear, 64 westbound near the Sandston Scales. That one was in the medium. We're actually looking good east and westbound along 64 in eastern Henrico. And let's take a look at the James River Air Sky View, tracking real-time traffic on the Powell Heights Parkway. We're heading northbound, north of Chippenham. We're delay-free. At the toll plaza, traffic is steady across the bridge. And we're in good shape as you merge eastbound on the Downtown Expressway or northbound I-195. Back to that.
All right, Tracy, thanks. It's at 6:36, and more than 158,000 Dirt Devil vacuums are being recalled this morning because of an electrical shock hazard. The recall covers 3 models of the Dirt Devil Total Pet Cyclone upright vacuums. There have been 14 reports of a prong on the electric cord plug detaching and remaining in an electrical outlet, which poses an electrical shock risk. If you own one, contact the company for instructions on how to get a free replacement. We have some exciting news to share this morning. Lilly Pulitzer is coming to Short Pump. The store will be located on the lower level of the mall near Nordstrom. We're told it will carry classic Lilly shifts, tunics, shorts, knit dresses, silk tops, totes, and printed scarves. There will also be a little Lilly section for girls. The brand is known for its colorful patterns. Lilly Pulitzer dresses sold out at Target stores in a matter of hours earlier this year.
And while you're watching the Super Bowl this weekend, you're going to hear the voice of the former nightly news anchor, Tom Brokaw, narrating one of this year's commercials. The Colonial Williamsburg Foundation will unveil its first Super Bowl ad, and Brokaw narrates this ad, which takes a walk backward through America's past. The commercial is part of Colonial Williamsburg's campaign challenging Americans to put today's headlines into historical context.
It's 6:38, happening right now in Chesterfield. A crash on I-95 South could impact your morning commute. Up next, Kelly Avellino joins us live from the scene of a tractor-trailer crash for an update. Plus, Sarah Broom is working very hard at our First Alert Center. And Sarah, exactly what are you working on?
Well, Eric, a bomb threat called into the police as someone responds to a Making a Murderer TV series. We'll have those details for you next.
Be sure that you're following us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll always keep you up to date. There is Andrew's post that I've shared talking about our chance for a little snow overnight and, of course, the cold air and snow moving in early next week. We'll be right back with more 12 News Today. Or up to the minute you're out.
Today's business report is sponsored by Witten Brothers, where you're this close to a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty.
Offer extended. There's still time to get a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty on your new Witten Brothers Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. You'll choose from Central Virginia's largest selection. The Witten Advantage features a no-charge loaner with every service visit and a 48-hour vehicle exchange policy. We'll beat the competition's prices. 48-hour exchange policy, no-charge loaner for service, and a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Get out of this world Ram Truck Month savings at Witten Brothers. Why in the world would you not?
If you've been seriously injured, the aftermath of the accident becomes a burden too heavy to carry alone. So call Emrock and Kilda. Our attorneys will help you put your life back together. Emrock and Kilda. One call, that's all.
I love long-distance running, yet a few years ago, plantar fasciitis made the pain in my feet debilitating. I could only run a mile or two. Finally, I went into the Good Feet store and found the answer: custom-fit arch supports. I ran my first marathon that year. And then because I believe in the Good Feet system so much, I bought the store. I'm Jonathan Cotton, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Next, ET, we get Coldplay's game plan for their Super Bowl halftime show. Plus, behind the runway of Zoolander 2. And Celine Dion at her late husband's tribute. Next, ET.
Tonight at 7. Then stay tuned for the Inside Story.
Paulette Jones.
I have the
Her accusations rocked Bill Clinton's presidency.
What happened to me was wrong.
Now she's breaking her silence. Next, Inside Edition. E.T. An Inside Edition. Tonight, starting at 7.
We were in Virginia.
And we earned our degrees at Averett University.
For more than 150 years, Averett has been a leader in higher education, offering adult degree programs for nearly 3 decades. With campuses throughout the state, Averett offers accelerated programs at night and online. Our professors work in the areas they teach: business, education, nursing, and criminal justice. Advance your career with adult degree programs that work. Your time is now. Call or visit mytimeisnow.com.
If you're in an accident, you really should get a lawyer.
Call Emrock and Kilduff.
We can't undo what happened, but we can help you put your life back together.
If you've been seriously injured, call Emrock and Kilduff. One call, that's all.
Burglars are in your home. You don't have an alarm or a gun. You're helpless to stop them. But what if a new product could change all that? Rachel DePompa investigates a new home security tool stopping thieves before they get to you. Tonight at 11.
The cleanup continues on I-95 south in Chesterfield this morning.
A tractor trailer flipped near the Chippenham Parkway exit, and crews have been working for hours to clear this up. Let's go to Kelly Avellino. She's live on the scene. What's the latest out there, Kelly?
Well, Heather, take a look at the wreckage behind me. You can see that tractor trailer overturned completely. Crews have been working for several hours now to cut up that tractor trailer and clear out the 3,000 pounds of paper that's inside it. It's going to be towed out of here in just a few moments, but there was another vehicle involved in this crash, an SUV that is completely mangled. I just spoke to state police. They tell me that a woman who was driving that SUV crashed into the Jersey median here in the left lane of I-95 South. She will be charged with DUI, I'm told. Just moments after she made it out of that SUV with the help of a Good Samaritan, and that's when the tractor trailer plowed into her, ultimately hitting the ditch here and then flipping over. A very intense scene here right now. Again, I am told that that woman who was driving the SUV will face charges. The man who was driving the tractor trailer was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Those injuries still serious, no. Still serious, though. A broken bone within his neck. So, again, we'll keep you updated on the progress here. Right now, all lanes are back open on I-95 South. I'll send it back into the studio for now. All right, thanks, Kelly. And as you just saw, it's still a mess on the shoulder. So we're not dealing with any lanes blocked, and we haven't seen any backups. But we're starting to pick up some volume in this area. This is one of our VID000 cameras, and this is I-95 right around Willis Road, and this is the southbound side. Just before you get to the accident scene. Looks like we are starting to pick up some volume, but we're not seeing any backups. But as the rush hour goes on, Kelly mentioned that hopefully it'll be clearing out shortly, but if it stays there after 7 o'clock, delays might start to build along 95. After 7 o'clock, you may want to consider taking 95 southbound to Chippenham Parkway and using Route 1. As your alternate, you can maybe take Route 1 to Route 288 and get back onto Interstate 95. Have an accident working in the east end, northbound 295 near I-64, and we haven't seen any backups yet. Trying to get through the area. And the earlier crash that was right around that Sandston Scales area, 64 West, is all clear. We're actually looking good right now on the westbound side. 64, no trouble as you head toward I-295. And we're in good shape right now all the way into the city, and we're in good shape on the eastbound side. Eric, back to you.
All right, Tracy, thanks. And right now, Branders Bridge Road near Long Creek is back open after being closed for most of the night. Crews worked from about 10 o'clock last night to 3 o'clock this morning after a car crashed into a pole. The accident only caused a few dozen power outages. The driver is okay, but police tell us charges are pending this morning. At 6:44, new overnight, Richmond police are investigating a homicide in the city's east end. Right now, officers are working to track down the gunman who shot and killed a woman inside her home. The victim was found on Burton Street in Church Hill around 6:30 Wednesday evening. Richmond police tell us they're still in the early stages of this investigation. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 780-1000.
In just a few hours, one of the Virginia Tech students accused of killing Nicole Lovell will be in court. This comes as family and friends prepare to say their final goodbyes to the 13-year-old. 19-year-old Natalie Keepers is due in court this morning. She's accused of helping David Eisenhower. A law enforcement official says Lovell was planning to expose her relationship with Eisenhower, and he stabbed her to prevent that. Funeral services for Lovell are at 3 this afternoon in Blacksburg, and on Monday, there will be a vigil for her at Virginia Tech, which starts at 7:30. And in Amelia this afternoon, family and friends will come together to say goodbye to Woodell Brooks. This morning, the search still continues for his wife, Olene. Brooks's funeral will be held at 1 this afternoon. A graveside memorial will then follow at 4 at Little Flock Primitive Baptist Church in Amelia.
New this morning, a bomb threat called into a Wisconsin sheriff's office after the Making a Murderer series on Netflix.
And we've got video just in from that scene. Sarah Bloom's in our First Alert Center. What's going on here, Sarah?
Well, Heather, Eric, authorities say a caller phoned in the bomb threat to the Manitowoc Sheriff's Office. They made a reference to getting justice for the man at the center of this controversy. Now, a statement from the department says the caller described bombs inside the sheriff's office and also a vehicle outside that had explosives in it. The popular series is about a man named Stephen Avery and questions his treatment for crimes and the possibility that evidence was planted. It's been very popular here recently in the last few months. Officials say they didn't find anything suspicious, but an investigation is ongoing. On your side in the First Alert Center, I'm Sarah Bloom. Eric, Heather?
Sarah, thanks. Just in time for Throwback Thursday. A new hashtag starts trending online.
Candace Smith is in our social media center to tell us about it. What's going on, Candace?
Well, guys, Twitter and Facebook users are sharing the hashtag #BeforeFacebookI to discuss how their lives and interactions have changed since joining Facebook. And it all started on Comedy Central's At Midnight, and the nostalgia was brought on by the late night game show's #Wars segment. Now, my before Facebook I moment was just like this. Before Facebook I only had one friend. You guys recognize Tom? Here, let me scoot it up so you can see. Do you recognize Tom from MySpace? That was my before Facebook I moment. And then this guy saying before Facebook I didn't spontaneously turn into a psychologist by reading about everyone's problems. Because Andrew, yeah, a lot of people like to take to Facebook to express, how their day went. And before Facebook I never had to worry about seeing people from high school ever again. So some people used to stay connected. She wished she didn't have to see them. And then we have Allie here saying before Facebook I had to stalk my exes with binoculars and camouflage gear. Now you don't have to do it. So this is what's trending, and I can relate. Andrew, Heather, and Eric, do you guys remember before Facebook?
It's hard to think back, but yeah. It is interesting how it has changed our connectivity.
It's changed everything.
Yeah,
it really has. Let's see, before Facebook I...
Don't remember.
Yeah, it's hard to remember, but before Facebook I didn't have to, stay, liking other people's posts and what's going on.
People obligated to like people's
It was a
posts?
simpler time, wasn't it?
Yeah, they live their lives, you live yours, and, but it's all good.
Yeah. So before Facebook and before text, I had to woo my wife the old-fashioned way on the telephone. That's the difference. And I actually, I saw this story. I sent her a Facebook message. I said, honey, I think I would have been really good on Facebook in terms of flirting with you. And she messaged back, who's that?
Oh, my God.
Anyway, let's take to Twitter here. This is Kelly Avellino, NBC 12. She writes, why? It's so warm and balmy out now, though. This weather is cray. This, according to Kelly. Now, she left out the Z. That's the way the kids say crazy nowadays. They just say this is cray, or in an extreme case, it is cray-cray. You're learning about the Twitter and the kids by watching NBC 12. My note here, I talked to the producers and gave you a little extra time to talk about rain changing to snow tonight. That's over on my Facebook page, and we tweeted it out as well. We'll get to that in a moment. River flood warnings in the city. Not too worried about this. You'll see this on the weather app, though. There's a flood warning. James River just about to get to flood stage, but it's not going to cause any major trouble. A lot of clouds out there, and as Kelly said, it is so warm out there now. It is really feeling like spring, almost like an early summer morning with temperatures at about 60. But here comes another batch of moisture coming our way. This coastal low forming in Florida right now is going to pour a lot more rain on the coastal Carolinas and bring some just up into Richmond. For now, we start warm, we start humid, we start with a little bit of fog. It is 60 in Richmond right now. We've tumbled a bit. Farmville, Louise, and Hanover certainly can't consider this cool. It's about 30 degrees above average for this time of year, but you're down into the 50s after spending the night in the 60s. Winds will start to shift. See how Louise and Fredericksburg, Charlottesville, winds are coming out of the north. We're going to get that too in Richmond. So what I think will happen is over the next few hours, our temperatures dip into the 50s, and then they slide into the 40s. And for the midday and afternoon, we're going to be stuck in the 40s. Much cooler later today than what we're going to get during the morning hours, when it's going to be quite warm. Maybe a sprinkle in between now and noon, but that's the time to get out. Just like yesterday, be productive this morning. Into the afternoon and evening, the rain chance goes way up, starting as soon as midday, lasting into the evening. That rain chance is quite high. It'll be probably light rain for most of us. Could be heavy down to Williamsburg. Then tonight, that light rain changes over to a little snow before it ends. A very high likelihood of this here, but not a high likelihood of much impact because the ground's going to be wet and relatively warm. Here's that forecast. So midday today, we start to see that rain trying to come back at us. The bulk of it's going to be down at the beach. That rain chance continues into the evening and overnight. Now look at this. This is 8 o'clock tonight. After midnight, that rain potentially changes to snow overnight. In particular, up toward Tappahannock, Northern Neck, Middle Peninsula, you could get a little accumulation on grassy surfaces and around an inch or so. This is overnight into early tomorrow. Then it clears. This is now into the afternoon tomorrow. Things change in a big way as we clear out tomorrow. Then on Monday, here comes that Arctic blast. That is the next big weather maker. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and with a possibility of snow centered on Tuesday. So today, temperatures slide into the 40s. Tomorrow morning, we clear our skies. It'll be sunny and dry Saturday and Sunday. Kind of chilly, then cold Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Snow showers possible Monday, maybe some light accumulating snow Tuesday, and flurries on Wednesday. Very cold for next week. Let's head back to you.
Andrew, thanks. GRTC is honoring a civil rights pioneer in honor of Black History Month. To mark Rosa Parks' birthday, the first passenger to seat ever on every GRTC bus will have a commemorative sign in tribute to her. Drivers will also keep bus headlights on all day, and the electric header signs will rotate with a message honoring Parks. Parks is known as the mother of the civil rights movement. She refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus back in 1955 and was arrested because of it.
And for breaking news updates when you're away from your TV, be sure you have our news and weather apps on your phone.
We're back with the last check on weather and traffic right after this.
Today's traffic is sponsored by James River Air.
Call James River Air to make sure your heating and cooling systems are tuned up and ready for duty.
I am very impressed. I agree. The selection is like you've never seen before, like the prices.
It's amazing. It's everything we need in one location.
Visit Greenfront Furniture now and get the perfect piece of furniture for that new TV. Also shop the largest selection of classic and transitional hand-knotted rugs from around the world. And be sure to check out GF District in Building 10, featuring mid-century and industrial furniture and lighting. Greenfront Furniture, Farmville. Log on to greenfront.com to plan your trip.
Totally worth my drive to come through Farmville to go to Greenfront.
Let's talk about simplifying the new car buying process. You want the best car at the best price without having to spend 4 hours on a car lot.
Click 31dodge.tv for one of the largest inventories in the Southeast and the best price in a 500-mile radius. Click 31dodge.tv and buy from the convenience of your computer.
How much simpler could that be? Best selection, best price, purchase right from your computer. Treat yourself to simple. You deserve it. 31dodge.tv.
During the President's Day event,
a winter storm warning has been issued for your location.
With the NBC 12 First Warning Weather app, you have the local advantage.
This weather app takes keeping your family safe to a whole new level.
The NBC 12 First Warning Weather team keeps you ready for the next warning. Local alerts for you from local meteorologists. Outsmart the storm with the free NBC 12 First Warning Weather app. Text weather app to 80412 or search NBC 12 in your app store today.
Show us your family's fun. Hashtag all your pictures and videos with 12 About Town.
To make sure our
Who
customers
is
get
this?
the best service, I'm going undercover.
So you can pick it up.
Which I got so,
And reliable.
How reliable.
I got so many sweethearts. Which one are you?
That's huge.
You married.
So great customer service.
Mission accomplished. There's no disguising it. More care, less cost.
Okay.
Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
Okay, show me what you got.
Tuition is expensive. Alice, getting one Christmas.
Pass it up.
I've been thinking about you. My house is in a bad way.
Okay, bring it home.
Living in Big Plan 45.
Oh, that was scary.
Don't let the tuition monster scare you. Visit Virginia 529 to explore flexible, tax-advantaged college savings options.
Where do they learn this stuff?
Burglars are in your home. You don't have an alarm or a gun. You're helpless to stop them. But what if a new product could change all that? Rachel DePompa investigates a new home security tool stopping thieves before they get to you. Tonight at 11. Our first warning weather team is hard at work through rain, snow, and ice. NBC 12 on your side when winter weather strikes.
I've been talking about
The Today Show is up next here on NBC 12, but your local news continues at 7 a.m. on Fox Richmond. Make sure to join me and the crew there.
All right, well, state police have been dealing with an accident involving a tractor-trailer on 95 southbound between Tibonium Parkway and Lewis Road. Everything has been pushed to the right shoulder. Good news, we haven't seen any backups, but rush hour is starting to kick in. So as the rush hour goes on, you may see delays. So I would maybe just leave a couple of extra minutes to get through the area. Andrew.
Okay, not necessarily raining now, but it is so warm. It feels like spring. We're going to feel like winter in just a few hours as temperatures slide into the 40s. The rain chance goes up as we head into the afternoon, as our temperature is going to drop into the 40s. So not much of a rain chance in between now and midday, but I do think this afternoon and evening some light rain comes back in, could be moderate at times, and as we talked about through the newscast, it could end as a brief period of snow overnight. We think minimal accumulations on grassy surfaces are possible late tonight and early tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date all through the day here on NBC 12. All right, big news here from NBC 12. Who wouldn't want to win $1,200, $1,200? Your chance comes after the big game. We have a sneaking suspicion some people might be watching the Super Bowl on another network, you think, on Sunday night.
There's a possibility.
It is not on NBC 12, but we want you to switch back over to us on Monday morning. So we're going to announce one lucky name between 6 and 7 on Monday morning, and that person's going to take home $1,200. We shook all of the couches at NBC 12 to come up with this money, and we cleared it out. So be sure to tune in tonight at 5 o'clock to learn about how to get signed up. So you're going to have to sign up for this. We're just not going to go through the phone book. That'll be Monday morning. We're giving away $1,200.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who it is. Thanks for being with us. The Today Show's next. Bye-bye.
Radar, alerts, and accurate forecasts on your phone. Download the NBC 12 First Warning Weather app now. With the NBC 12 First Warning Weather app, you will have the local advantage. Local alerts from local meteorologists. Outsmart the storm with the free NBC 12 First Warning Weather app.
For all your home problems, your solution is Woodman. We're proud to be your home team. And your #1 faithful friend.
Thank you, God.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joe, and I am too, and I want to know, is there something you'd like to change?
My granddaughter said I have a sagging neck. Such a sweet child.
Yes, gravity does happen, and this is why facelift surgery is my favorite procedure. It'll improve those jowls, get rid of that turkey gobbler, and make you look the young you feel.
Why don't you be helping some
If there's
people,
something
Dr.
you'd like to
Niam,
change,
too?
call Dr.
Why don't you
J992
help some of the
at
children that are
934-FACE
born
or go to
deformed,
loveatface.com.
cleft lip, other things? You all about the money.
Can he be trusted?
Such a pretty face.
The Blacklist, all new tonight at 9 Central on NBC.
I have concerns about Agent Stahl. He's surveilling me inappropriately.
It's the show that gets people instantly addicted.
All you gonna need is a gangbanger's word. Can't do this, do you hear me?
All new Shades of Blue tonight after The Blacklist on NBC.
Burglars are in your home. You don't have an alarm or a gun. You're helpless to stop them. But what if a new product could change all that? Rachel DePompa investigates a new home security tool stopping thieves before they get to you. Tonight at 11.
It's the final weekend of free furniture. Friday and Saturday at Schul's, buy anything at the comparable value price and get an equal amount in free furniture. Buy $500, get $500 in free furniture. Buy $1,000, get $1,000 in free furniture. Plus no money down. That's right, free furniture. Final days, only at Schul's.
When you commit to South University, we commit to you. When your intuition drives you to help others, we deliver relevant coursework. When your ambition compels you toward healthcare, we set you up for success. When you get serious about helping others, we put real skills in your hands. When you invest in your future, we make your time worth it. For information about physical therapist assistant or other programs, call South University or visit us online. We're ready for you.
It's the final weekend of free furniture and mattresses at Schul's. Buy anything at the comparable value price and get an equal amount in free furniture and mattresses. Get a free $100 Visa gift card with any qualifying mattress purchase. Plus no money down. Free furniture, free mattresses, and free Visa cards. Final weekend at Schul's.
Good morning. Face Off. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders at a forum in New Hampshire. Clinton asked why she took those massive speaking fees from Wall Street.
That's what they offered. So,
And on the Republican side, Donald Trump demands a do-over in Iowa, accusing Ted Cruz of stealing the election.
He's losing it. We're liable to wake up one morning, and Donald, if he were president, would have nuked Denmark.
The latest on the battle getting more heated every day. Bomb on board? What blew a large hole in that commercial jet mid-flight? One passenger missing, reportedly sucked out of the plane. This morning, the growing fears it was a terrorist attack. State of emergency. Florida's governor taking new action after at least 9 cases of Zika are reported in that state. How did a virus you knew about just weeks ago become such a threat? And Hello Kitty. For the first time ever, the only jaguar known to live in the U.S. is captured on camera. The big cat scientists have been trying to spot for years. Today, Thursday, February 4th, 2016.
From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie. Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today on a Thursday morning.
We've covered campaigns in the past where it's gotten rough, but the charges and countercharges that are going back and forth in this, especially on the Republican side, it's getting really intense.
And we have 9 months before
exactly.
Election Day, but the stakes are high, and that's why we're seeing it get so heated. It's our top story, these new battles on the presidential campaign. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders tangling at a town hall. They've got a debate tonight. Ted Cruz laying into Donald Trump, accusing him of illegally stealing the Iowa caucuses. It's going to be where we begin our coverage this morning. NBC's Hallie Jackson in Manchester, New Hampshire for us. Hallie, good morning.
Hey there, good morning, Savannah. You and Matt said it. Today, there's a new tone to this frontrunners feud. Donald Trump and Ted Cruz will both be barnstorming New Hampshire today, but Trump is still stuck on Iowa, calling Cruz a cheater and calling for a new election there.
Air Trump grounded for engine trouble in Tennessee, but that didn't stop the turbulence on the trail. Donald Trump now demanding a do-over after his second-place finish in the Iowa caucuses.
But actually, I think I came in first because if you take a look, okay, you know. Oh, that voter fraud. You know, these politicians are brutal.
Trump's now accusing Ted Cruz of stealing Iowa, not winning it, echoing Ben Carson's complaint about some Cruz staffers spreading the word Carson headed home to Florida after the caucuses. The implication? That Carson was out, but he was not.
I think it was a disgrace that he did it, and I don't think it should be even allowed. I think those votes should be taken away, and there were plenty of them. He really lies. I mean, I don't like to use that term, but he really lies.
Cruz, who's not under investigation, came back with his own one-liner.
It is no surprise that Donald is throwing yet another temper tantrum, or if you like, yet another Trumper tantrum.
But Cruz didn't stop there.
He is calling you a cheater. He's calling you a fraud. Does this cross the line for you?
Oh, listen, Donald's insults get more and more hysterical the more and more upset he gets. Look, we need a commander-in-chief, not a Twitterer-in-chief. My girls are 5 and 7. And I got to tell you, Caroline and Catherine are better behaved than a presidential candidate who responds by insulting everyone every day when he loses.
The Texas senator also taking a dig at Sarah Palin after she accused his campaign of a dirty trick.
It seems if you spend too much time with Donald Trump, strange things happen to people.
A new tone to the frontrunners' feud. On the establishment side, meanwhile, Jeb Bush widely expected to get back up soon from former President George W. Bush in South Carolina, giving his brother a helping hand just when he appears to need it.
Send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
And today, 2 fewer competitors for Bush and the rest of the Republican field. Rand Paul and Rick Santorum both dropping out, guys. Paul is not expected to endorse anybody before the New Hampshire primary, but Santorum is. He's backing now Marco Rubio. Matt, Savannah.
All right, Hallie Jackson on the trail for us. Thanks.
Let's take a look at the Democrats. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders warmed up for tonight's debate on MSNBC by fielding tough questions at a town hall forum. NBC's Andrea Mitchell is at the University of New Hampshire, where tonight's event is being held. Andrea, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. Tonight's MSNBC debate will be their only head-to-head debate, and the only one, it's their first debate and the only one before next week's New Hampshire primary. They did warm up, appearing separately Wednesday night.
This is hard for me. A different side of Hillary Clinton was on display Wednesday night.
I've had to be in public dealing with some very difficult issues and personal issues.
Saying she relied on a Jesuit parable to get her through those times.
Be grateful for your limitations. Know that you have to reach out to have more people be with you, to support you, to advise you. Listen to your critics. Answer the questions. But at the end, be grateful.
But critics pounced on how she explained taking $675,000 from Wall Street for speeches.
Well, I don't know. That's what they offered.
A closeness with Wall Street that has become a big issue for Bernie Sanders.
I do not know any progressive who has a super PAC and takes $15 million from Wall Street.
Sanders and Clinton have been trading jabs for days over who is the real progressive.
Some of my best friends are moderates. I love moderates. But you can't be a moderate and a progressive. They are different.
I was somewhat amused today that Senator Sanders has set himself up to be the gatekeeper on who's a progressive.
With just 5 days until the primary, Clinton is far behind in a state she won 8 years ago.
This state has been so good to me and my family. I care so much about what happens in New Hampshire.
Trying to narrow the gap here, but counting on blunting Sanders' momentum 3 weeks from now in South Carolina, where Bill Clinton was already campaigning Wednesday night.
Who's the best change maker?
And tonight's debate is really Hillary Clinton's last chance to reintroduce herself to New Hampshire voters who are so far overwhelmingly supporting Bernie Sanders from neighboring Vermont. She'll be on the stage face-to-face with Sanders tonight at that debate, moderated by Rachel Maddow and our own Chuck Todd.
All right, Andrea, thank you very much, Andrea. Appreciate that.
Good segue. Chuck Todd is also in New Hampshire, as Andrea said. He's co-moderating tonight's debate on MSNBC. We've got MSNBC political analyst Nicole Wallace with us here in studio. Guys, good morning to you. And Chuck, I will start with you. So, Donald Trump accusing Ted Cruz of stealing the election in Iowa. Number one, is there any there on the substance of it? And number two, is it a smart political attack?
Look, I am shocked that political campaigns try to win elections, okay? There's not a lot of there. Certainly, did they take advantage of a situation with Carson? Yes, but a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes there. So I think this is, I think the charges are a bit overwrought. Look, it's Donald Trump playing a little bit of politics. That said, I have to say, the more they fight, the more this helps one candidate. Not Ted Cruz, not Donald Trump, but Marco Rubio. The private polling I've been hearing about over the last 2 days post-Iowa indicates that Cruz hasn't gotten a bump, and I think partly because Trump has been beating him up. Trump's been eroding a little bit, and there's only one guy on the rise, Marco Rubio.
Nicole, let's turn to you. We know that the voter base in New Hampshire is very different than what we just saw in Iowa. But are the New Hampshire voters, and stick on the Republican side here, are they emotional voters or are they pragmatic voters? In other words, are they going to go for their Cruz or Trump, or are they going to look to someone, the best person to beat Hillary Clinton or whoever the Democratic nominee is?
Well, historically, and I feel like I have to give that caveat because nothing about this election has been historic. For two reasons, they are more practical voters. They're more the policy wonks than the gut players. And in New Hampshire, independents can participate in each party's primary. So you'll read in these polls about people who aren't just choosing between Rubio and Kasich. Kasich is also doing well in private and public polling. You hear about people choosing between Hillary Clinton and Marco Rubio. So they're making a completely different appeal. It loses some of its edges. And this knife fight going on between Cruz and Trump runs the risk not just of each man destroying the other, but of totally alienating some of the kinds of voters they need to bring into their camp.
And turning back to Chuck on the Democrats, I don't know if you call it a knife fight, but maybe a label fight. You see Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton saying, you know, ¿quién es más progressive? Who is the most progressive person in the race? Who's getting the better of that one?
Well, look, I think it really depends on who you are in the Democratic electorate right now. I mean, what you're seeing is Sanders and the idealism and the bold idea saying take it to Washington and do those things. That's appealing to the younger generation. That's why he's at doing so well there. The pragmatic argument should be one to work well for Hillary Clinton here in New Hampshire, particularly on the Democratic side. Democratic primary voters for years in New Hampshire have been a bit more pragmatic, have been a less idealistic.
Right.
So it should play well here. It hasn't so far. I think tonight's debate's going to go a long way to deciding if it will.
Nicole, not a lot of time left. Bernie Sanders heads to New Hampshire. He's flush with cash.
Yeah.
Big lead in the polls. He's the guy next door. But Hillary Clinton has faced this before and done well in New Hampshire. She's going to pour an enormous amount of resources into the state. If she closes the gap substantially, is it a momentum victory?
Well, this is where each candidate's going to be judged on how successfully they manage the expectations game. And Bernie Sanders should take a peek at what Marco Rubio did in Iowa, because if he lets the expectations stand, that he has to win by some whopper of a double-digit figure, he will lose even if he wins. Remember 92, Bill Clinton saying, I'm the comeback kid with a second-place finish in New Hampshire. But nobody remembers that, right, guys? Thank you so much. Nicole, Chuck, we'll see you tonight. The debate live on MSNBC begins at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Good luck, Chuck. Have a good evening. The mystery deepening this morning over an explosion shortly after takeoff that ripped that hole in the side of a passenger plane in Somalia. Was it caused by a bomb? NBC's Keir Simmons has new developments on the investigation. Hi, Keir. Good morning.
Hey, Matt, good morning. We're still trying to figure out what happened here. Officials tell us no shrapnel was found inside the plane and say a bomb is unlikely, yet experts think the damage visible outside suggests an explosion did occur.
This morning, the airline says its aircraft was 15 minutes into the flight, still climbing, when a hole was blown in the fuselage. How it happened is still a mystery. Experts tell NBC News passengers may not have survived if the plane had been at a higher altitude than 12,000 feet. Officials have confirmed one passenger is missing. Witnesses say he was sucked out of the plane. Pictures suggest the metal or skin of the Airbus 321 was blown outwards, indicating an explosion from inside. Passengers describe seeing smoke.
I just saw white smoke and, it was a few seconds I didn't realize where it was. And then when things calmed down, of course we saw a hole in the plane.
In the past, US-bound flights have been targeted with bombs smuggled into the cabin. Richard Reed tried to detonate explosives in his shoes on a 2001 Miami flight. And in 2009, Omar Abdulmutallab on a Detroit-bound plane hid explosives in his underwear. The device failed. But in this case, officials have not ruled out a failure of the aircraft. We are aware of the reports about a Dallas Airline flight, Airbus said in a statement, and are supporting our customer and the authorities in charge of the investigation. A spokesman told NBC News Airbus has a team on standby ready to join the investigation, but is waiting for an official request from authorities in Somalia.
And a Turkish Airlines flight from the same airport was cancelled Monday due to heavy tailwinds, an official in Somalia tells us, and most of the passengers were transferred onto Tuesday's ill-fated flight. So Matt and Savannah, they weren't meant to be on that plane and then escape with their lives.
Yeah, they're very, very lucky. Keir, thank you very much.
Some new developments to tell you about in the fight against the Zika virus. Florida's Governor Rick Scott declared a public health emergency on Wednesday in 4 counties where people have been diagnosed with the mosquito-borne virus. There have been at least 9 cases in Florida. Scott says he wants officials to be prepared for the possibility that Zika could spread. Health officials believe all of the cases are from people who contracted the disease while traveling to Latin America or the Caribbean.
That former pharmaceutical executive who raised the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000% is appearing on Capitol Hill today, but we don't actually expect to hear much from him. Natalie has more on that.
That's right, guys. Well, that temporary price hike has some critics calling Martin Shkreli the most hated man in America. Known for speaking his mind, Shkreli's legal team now wants him to keep quiet. The former drug company CEO, known for astronomically raising drug prices and his voice, now uncharacteristically quiet.
From henceforward, he does not speak to any member of the press.
Anything you want to say, Al? Martin Shkreli's new attorney imposing a gag order after his client appeared in a Brooklyn courtroom Wednesday on charges of security fraud. The charges are not related to his controversial price hike of a life-saving pill for HIV patients. Shkreli increased the price of one dose from $13.50 to $750. That newly imposed silence likely to extend to his appearance today before Congress.
On the advice of counsel, Mr. Shkreli will be invoking his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination.
But Shkreli was talkative Tuesday in a half-hour appearance on New York City radio station Power 105.
I'm telling you, I'm from the streets.
Where Shkreli spoke to the DJs about everything from Donald Trump.
He hasn't been a good businessman.
To a video he released last week insulting Ghostface Killah.
I think it's okay to beef with me.
Of the legendary rap group the Wu-Tang Clan.
If you were here right now, I'd smack him right in the face.
No, you wouldn't.
Absolutely.
He's been feuding with the rapper ever since spending $2 million for the one and only copy of Wu-Tang's latest album.
The guy who's taking shots at me in the hip-hop game, as we all know, it's not easy to be on the receiving end of those things without jumping back.
But you're not hip-hop. You're
whatever. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter.
And while he's still tweeting out insults online, when it comes to legal matters, his lawyer is doing the talking.
We do not believe that Mr. Shkreli ever knowingly violated the law or intended to defraud anyone.
Well, Shkreli's high-profile persona apparently impacting his profits as well. Federal prosecutors say a stock portfolio of Shkreli's has dropped from $45 million down to $4 million. Just such a bizarre guy. You can see why the lawyer's like, enough of the chatting. Zip it. All right, Nat, thank you. Well, the criminal sexual assault case against Bill Cosby is moving forward. A Pennsylvania judge refused to throw out that case on Wednesday, rejecting the defense's claim that the former district attorney had promised not to prosecute Cosby a decade ago. The judge found that promise was not binding on the current DA and does not prevent the current charges. Cosby is charged with drugging and assaulting a former Temple University employee at his home in 2004. He has denied any criminal wrongdoing.
Got an update now to a story we told you about last week. Calgary Flames defenseman Dennis Weidman. Remember this story? He's the guy who claimed he was woozy after a hit and accidentally cross-checked a linesman. Well, the league looked at it, didn't think it was such an accident. They suspended him for 20 games. And so that's what happens when you accidentally cross-check a linesman.
Yeah, I might have seen that one coming. And now to this video that we showed you at the top of the show. For the first time ever, we're getting a glimpse at the only known wild jaguar in the United States. The big cat is nicknamed El Jefe. He lives in the mountains south of Tucson, Arizona. The adult male has been seen by remote sensor cameras before, but until now has never been captured on video. Conservationists say jaguars have all but disappeared from the U.S. due to the decades of habitat loss and population control.
Beautiful.
He is the one and only El Jefe. Okay, yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
but much better to see him on video.
Yeah, exactly.
Go for a little walk on the way.
Hello. Yes.
What's going on, bud?
Well, we've got some more wet weather to talk about, and maybe a little snowstorm, too. Just a brief one. But look at what happened in the Carolinas. This is Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Strong winds, heavy rain, all combining to bring down power lines, trees onto homes, knocking down massive structures, really making a mess. And there's more on the way today. Look at what we've got right now on the radar. Some areas may be looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain, and this is all streaming up along a frontal system that's just going to lay along the coast. So even as we get into the Cape Hatteras, Wilmington, Norfolk, we're talking about some areas that could pick up 3 inches of rain in a 3-hour time period. So wouldn't be surprised to see some flash flooding going on. Now, here's another thing we're watching. A little bit of a mini winter storm threat for the southeast Massachusetts area, Cape Cod. Rain and wet snow move in from the south tonight. And then for tomorrow, this low pressure system is going to move up the coast about rush hour tomorrow morning from Atlantic City, much of Long Island, Montauk, on into New England, even Boston. We could be looking at snowfall rates of 1 inch per hour during rush hour, and then this moves off. But this is a quick little system that's going to move through. It's going to be just cold enough to snow, and as you can see, we are looking for anywhere from 1 to 4 inches in Montauk. Boston may see up to 5 inches. Chatham, Mass, 6 inches of snow. We're going to get to your local forecast coming up in the next 30 seconds.
RootMetrics, in the nation's largest independent study, tested wireless performance across the country. Verizon won big with 153 state wins. AT&T got 38, Sprint got 2, and T-Mobile got 0. Verizon also won first in the U.S. for data, call speed, and reliability. AT&T got text. Stuck on an average network? Join Verizon, and we'll cover your cost to switch.
Today's weather is sponsored by The Dump, the nickname that became the icon and America's #1 furniture outlet.
starting really warm this morning and then seeing temperatures slide. So it's a spring-like start and a winter-like finish. This will dip into the 40s this afternoon. Today's high pretty much has already happened. It was 60 in the middle of the night. So lots of clouds for the first part of the day. Get ready for more rain, light to moderate rain developing into the afternoon, lasting into the evening, changing to wet snow overnight and early tomorrow.
Look at a possible another nor'easter early next week.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Al. Coming up, justice closer in the Jinx case, the courtroom deal that could have Robert Durst standing trial for murder.
Plus, in the wake of a tragic story out of Virginia, are you monitoring your child's online activity closely enough? I'm going to tell you about some apps that you might want to delete from your children's phones. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Very impressed by Greenwood. The selection is like you've never seen before, like the prices.
It's amazing. It's everything we need in one location.
Visit Greenfront Furniture now to get the perfect piece of furniture for that new TV. Also shop the largest selection of classic and transitional hand-knotted rugs from around the world. And be sure to check out GF District in Building 10, featuring mid-century and industrial furniture and lighting. Greenfront Furniture, Farmville. Log on to greenfront.com to plan your trip.
Totally worth my drive to come to Farmville to go to Greenfront. I am strong for my children. Are you okay?
I am, thanks. I have to be strong for my mom.
I need to stay strong for my country. I am strong for me. I am strong for me. For me.
For all of us. We believe empowerment begins at any age. Are you ready?
Burglars are in your home. You don't have an alarm or a gun. You're helpless to stop them. But what if a new product could change all that? Rachel DePompa investigates a new home security tool stopping thieves before they get to you. Tonight at 11. With the NBC 12 First Warning Weather app, you have the local advantage. Local alerts. A major one of local meteorologists. Outsmart the storm with the free NBC 12 First Warning Weather app.
The thing that brings me back to L&M is the customer service. I know that whatever I buy from L&M, if I don't like it, they'll replace it. They'll pull it back up. To them, it's not just about selling something. It's about making you happy.
Discover L&M Carpet One, home of the beautiful guarantee. You could pay high prices at the mall, or you could shop at Capel and get the very same rugs for 50% less. The same incredible rugs at 50% off the other store's prices. Now at Capel Rugs.
Just ahead, the intern who learned the hard way, he probably should fall asleep at work.
And old money, new money, an exclusive first look at what could be one of the Super Bowl's most talked about ads after local news.
Carl, don't you have friends coming over?
Yeah, so?
It stinks in here. You've got to wash this whole room.
Are you kidding? Wash it?
Let's wash it with Febreze.
For all the things you can't wash, use Febreze Fabric Refresher.
Whoa.
Hey, Mrs. Weber. Hey, it smells nice in here.
And try Pluggable Febreze to continuously eliminate odors for up to 45 days of freshness. Pluggable Febreze and Fabric Refresher. 2 more ways to breathe happy.
This President's Day, you're free to get an Ashley sofa and love seat set without going into deep debt. Just choose the color and fabric you want. Your choice, just $19.99 a week without paying interest. And delivery is always included. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
Know what we like about you, Artichoke? Layer after layer, you're all artichoke. And from top to bottom, Valle Total is all Greek yogurt. We should make a dip called Keeping It Real Dip. Valle Total. Nothing more, never less.
Find all the active brands that keep you going, so you can work out and about for less at JCPenney. Hurry in for the Super Saturday sale. Spend $25 and get $10 off with coupon. Nike athletic shoes and some other exclusions apply. Only at JCPenney.
You say avocado? Old El Paso says zesty chicken and avocado tacos in our stand and stuffed tortillas. You say stand and stuffed tortillas. Old El Paso says start somewhere fresh.
We're the hottest young company around. If we want to keep the soda pop flowing, we need fresh ideas. Got it. Be slow, we die. What about cashing out? No, I'm trying to build something here.
How about using FedEx Ground for shipping?
I don't need some kid telling me how to run a business. I've been doing this for 4 long months.
FedEx Ground can help us save money and deliver fast to our customers.
Not that kid. You remind me of a younger me.
Aiden, the dog's eating your retainer again.
Let's take a short 5-minute recess.
FedEx Ground is faster to more locations than UPS Ground.
Fortifying the gravity-defying, adventure-collecting friend connector. Fortifying the going places, off to the races, day-seizing you. You're strong, and we're here to help you stay that way. New Special K Nourish. Multigrain flakes with quinoa, apples, almonds, and raspberries. New Special K Nourish. Fortify.
There's no one else in the world like you. So I wanted you to have the ring to match.
At Jared, we only sell one piece of jewelry. The engagement ring you had designed just for her. And it's waiting for you. At Jared. This weekend at Jared, create your own one-of-a-kind ring and receive Get Set in Diamonds rewards. Up to $1,000 toward a beautiful setting when you buy your diamond at Jared. The one ring that's unlike any other is waiting for you this week.
This 12 News Update is sponsored by R.J. Tilley, Plumbing and Kitchen and Bath Remodeling. On your side, this is a 12 News Today update.
Good morning, it is 7:26. I've been keeping my eye on a couple of accidents, including this one that I found on one of our VDOT cameras. It's I-95 southbound. It's the on-ramp from Boulevard to 95 South. It looks like everything is on the shoulder. Just be cautious as you access that ramp. And we are seeing some slow traffic right now along Interstate 95 in that area, just south of the Bryan Park interchange. This is the James River Air sky view. And it looks like that delay continues just south of the boulevard, then it remains heavy as you work your way downtown. So just be aware of that. Maybe leave about 10 minutes early if you commute from Bryan Park into the downtown area. Have an accident in the east end blocking the left travel lane, left shoulder, northbound I-295 near I-64. We haven't seen any backups as a result, and the accident involving the tractor-trailer I-95 southbound near Willis Road still going on, but everything is on the right shoulder. Andrew?
Okay, Tracy, it is so ridiculously warm out there. Look at these numbers. It's at about 60 degrees right now, upper 50s. I talked about this all morning. Said by about 7 or 8, we drop down into the 50s in Richmond, and then into the afternoon, we'll drop into the 40s. It's already in the 40s in Charlottesville, Fredericksburg, and Louisa. You're feeling it. It's getting cooler. I don't want you to dress for the weather now. I want you to dress for what's coming this afternoon. That'd be rain and much chillier numbers. Not really much rain out there now. A little light rain down into Sussex and Greensboro County, but keep in mind it's kind of dry, relatively dry, although there's water all over the place. So I think it's boots, umbrellas, rain gear today. It's this coastal low pressure forming, riding along the front that's moving through as we speak, and it'll bring another batch of rain at us for the afternoon. Again, watch out for a little fog. I don't think it's too thick or too widespread, and we will be getting rid of that fog as our temperatures start to drop. So we're sliding temperature-wise into the upper 40s. We'll probably get there by about midday, and then mid to upper 40s into the afternoon. The rain chance starts to ramp up as we head into the afternoon. Could happen as soon as about midday, but I have a low rain chance in between now and noon, maybe a little spot or two of a sprinkle. Rain goes way up as we head into the afternoon. It'll be light to moderate rain, then light rain changing to snow before it ends late tonight into early tomorrow. The chance is quite high. Here's 8 o'clock tonight. We get some light rain in Richmond. Rain changing to snow overnight. Could be about an inch of wet snow possible. In the overnight early tomorrow, mainly Richmond east and north. So we're talking northern neck, middle peninsula, more than out north and west of town. That could slow you down a tiny bit early tomorrow. Then we'll clear out tomorrow, climbing into the mid-40s. A dry weekend, cold with some snow flying around next week.
Today's traffic is sponsored by James River Air.
Call James River Air to make sure your heating and cooling systems are tuned up and ready for duty.
You're in a gang, I ride with a grown-up.
What's that like?
Well, we don't take prisoners. Wait, what does that mean? When you're a grown-up, you want what you want, not what somebody else tells you you want.
That would explain the R.J. Tilley truck.
Yeah, my new bath is going to be exactly what I want.
I know R.J. Tilley gets that.
That's why they're here.
I hope they know what they're in for.
What?
Ride with the grown-ups. Get the new kitchen or bath you've always wanted from R.J. Tilley. We can fix that.
Value City Furniture presents How to Get Inspired. First, get inspired. Okay, that's not doing it. Go out. Look around. Shop the boutiques.
Get up, Carl.
Find something you love. When you're ready to buy, head to Value City Furniture, where you can always find furniture just like at the boutiques, but at prices that will make you much more comfortable.
Perfect.
And that's how to buy the perfect piece at Value City Furniture.
At the Insurance Doctor, we'll save you money, or I'll buy you dinner at the restaurant of your choice.
The savings were unbelievable.
Nobody beats the Insurance Doctor.
Police Department reports on a new tool for taking out burglars tonight at 11.
7:30 now on a Thursday morning. It's February 4th, 2016. Big crowd outside. Happy that the rain of yesterday has passed us by. Getting ready for what Al says could be a little storm tomorrow. Just a little bit. Just a nip.
Tiny storm. Here's a look at today's headlines. Donald Trump accusing Ted Cruz of misleading Iowa voters to win Monday's caucus, and he's now calling for a do-over. Cruz has responded. He did it during a news conference, saying it amounts to sour grapes. He called it a Trumper tantrum.
More and more hysterical. But at the end of the day, the Iowa people spoke. Donald Trump guaranteed a victory in Iowa. And then he lost. And he doesn't like that.
Those two candidates will be side by side when the Republicans debate in New Hampshire Saturday night.
Democratic candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders took part in a town hall in New Hampshire last night. Senator Sanders questioning his rival's liberal credentials.
I do not know any progressive who has a super PAC and takes $15 million from Wall Street. That's just not progressive.
I said that I'm a progressive who likes to get things done, and I was somewhat amused today that Senator Sanders has set himself up to be the gatekeeper on who's a progressive.
Clinton and Sanders will debate face-to-face tonight on MSNBC.
And it was another night of severe weather across the South. A tornado touched down at Fort Stewart in Georgia, damaged several buildings and vehicles, but no injuries have been reported.
Also this morning, a guilty plea from real estate heir Robert Durst, the focus of HBO's popular series The Jinx. And that plea is now paving the way for Durst to stand trial for murder. NBC's Morgan Radford has the latest on that. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Savannah. From Manhattan millionaire to drifting vagabond and now convicted felon, 72-year-old Robert Durst is expected here in Los Angeles to face an entirely new trial, which may finally put an end to a decades-old murder mystery.
Out of luck and out of options, convicted felon Robert Durst, looking frail and sickly, pleaded guilty Wednesday to having an illegal gun in New Orleans.
As a fugitive from justice or somebody under indictment, you can't possess a weapon. He had two.
Now Durst, who's been in a Louisiana prison since March, will head to Los Angeles, where he'll face charges for an even bigger crime, the murder of Susan Berman.
Bob Durst did not kill Susan Berman. He doesn't know who did. He wants to prove it. And we want to get to California as quickly as we can.
Berman is the key to unlocking a mystery that all started back in 1982, when Durst's first wife, Kathleen, disappeared.
Durst says he'll give $100,000 to anyone who can help him find his wife.
Durst claims she took a train from their New York cottage to Manhattan, and he never saw her again. Then, in 2000, Berman, who was a close friend of Robert Durst, was shot in the back of the head in her Los Angeles home, just days before she was supposed to speak to police about Kathleen's disappearance.
He does have a motive. He thinks that Susan might say something about the wife's case.
A year later, in 2001, Durst was charged in Texas with killing his neighbor, Morris Black. His body in pieces.
He hung around homeless shelters and with transients and, knew how to dismember a body.
Durst said it was in self-defense and was acquitted.
With the jury, find the defendant, Robert Durst, not guilty.
Fast forward to last spring.
The police are going to leave you alone now.
Durst was interviewed for the HBO series The Jinx, and in a stunning final episode, was caught on tape mumbling,
"Kill them all, of course."
But Durst has slipped through the legal shackles before.
It's a tough case. It's certainly not a slam dunk. It'll be a very fiercely fought case. I think he'll be convicted out there.
Now, with his next trial set to begin in Los Angeles, experts say prosecutors may finally have the evidence and the motive to put Durst behind bars. They say it's not the age of the case, but rather the quality of the evidence. Matt, Savannah?
Hi, Morgan Radford. Thank you very much.
Let's get a check of the weather now from Mr. Roker.
Today's weather is brought to you by Soma, your new bra destination in sizes 32A to 44G.
We're looking at some really mild temperatures coming on in through a good chunk of the country for the weekend. Bismarck, you're going to see temperatures peaking at 52 on Sunday, 41 in Chicago on Sunday, Monday 54 in Lexington. It'll be 47 here in New York City, but big changes coming. A trough of low pressure is going to dig down. Jet stream dips to the south. We're looking for cold air reaching as far south as Florida. And then early next week, along this jet stream, we're looking for a low pressure system to develop. Could be another potential nor'easter. Certainly going to have some impacts for the New Hampshire primaries on Tuesday. We're going to have to watch this, wait and see, but a couple of the models agreeing that we could be looking at a significant snowstorm in the northeast in New England by Tuesday into Wednesday. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Today's weather is sponsored by Marks & Harrison.
Calvin, you mean business.
Starting really warm this morning and then seeing temperatures slide. So it's a spring-like start and a winter-like finish. This will dip into the 40s this afternoon. Today's high pretty much has already happened. It was 60 in the middle of the night. So lots of clouds for the first part of the day. Get ready for more rain, light to moderate rain developing into the afternoon, lasting into the evening, changing to wet snow overnight and early tomorrow.
Here's your latest weather. Matt?
Mr. Rucker, thank you very much.
Coming up next, new concerns over messaging apps your kids could be using in secret in the wake of a Virginia girl's tragic death. We'll have more on that, but first, these messages.
My name's Nick, and I make dog chow in Denver, Colorado. One of my fondest memories of Chloe is the day we got her. I knew right there she was going to be a great dog. Chloe is a big influence on the family. She loved Lincoln from the start. She's his little protector. I trust Dog Chow to keep Chloe healthy because I see the high-quality ingredients that go into it. The standards that we follow are top-notch. I trust Dog Chow enough to feed it to my dog every single day.
Can a bra really be age-defying?
Enhancing Shape by Soma, the age-defying t-shirt bra with top-shaping pad technology that eliminates gaps. And now get a free panty with bra purchase, exclusively at Soma and Soma.com.
This storm promises to be the biggest of the decade, with total accumulation of up to 3 feet. Roads will be shut down indefinitely, and schools are closed.
Campbell's soups go great with a cold and a nice red. Made for real life.
With ingredients like roasted hazelnuts and cocoa, the delicious taste of Nutella takes pancakes to a whole new level. Nutella, spread the happy.
I smoked a lot and quit a lot, but ended up nowhere. Now I use this.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent the urge to smoke all day.
I want this time to be my last time. That's why I choose Nicoderm CQ.
One smile. All right, big smile.
Hey, honey, how'd it go?
They say what words could never say. The smiles will never
Thanks, Dad.
There's my smile.
The Happy Meal with fresh, delicious California-grown cuties, only at McDonald's.
Across America, people like Basketball Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins are taking charge of their type 2 diabetes with non-insulin Victoza.
For a while, I took a pill to lower my blood sugar, but it didn't get me to my goal. So I asked my doctor about Victoza. He said Victoza works differently than pills and comes in a pen. Victoza is proven to lower blood sugar and A1C. It's taken once a day, anytime. Victoza is not for weight loss, but it may help you lose some weight.
Victoza is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It is not recommended as the first medication to treat diabetes and should not be used in people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Victoza has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Victoza is not insulin. Do not take Victoza if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Victoza or any of its ingredients. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Serious side effects may happen in people who take Victoza. including inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis. Stop taking Victoza and call your doctor right away if you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe pain that will not go away in your abdomen or from your abdomen to your back, with or without vomiting. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take, and if you have any medical conditions. Taking Victoza with the sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. The most common side effects are headache, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting. Side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
If your pill isn't giving you the control you need, ask your doctor about non-insulin Victoza. It's covered by most health plans.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
We're never having kids.
So is it here?
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
We're back now at 7:40 with a case in Virginia we've been following, and it's putting a spotlight on apps your kids could be using.
The story is heartbreaking. Erica Hill's here, and she's going to talk about the story, but also then give parents some information they can use.
Yeah, some real practical takeaways here. This afternoon, 13-year-old Nicole Lavelle will be laid to rest. A Virginia teen disappeared last week. Her body found over the weekend. And while the investigation into her murder is still ongoing, her use of certain messaging apps is now the focus of attention.
As Nicole Lavelle's family and community mourn the loss of a 13-year-old, they are also searching for answers.
These two individuals took my daughter from this planet, and I want to know why. I want all the information I can get.
Long before Nicole snuck out of her house, friends suspect a predator may have snuck into her life through social media.
Nicole touched many people.
While police have not mentioned specific evidence, authorities say Nicole was active on Twitter and a Facebook forum called Teen Dating and Flirting. She reportedly showed friends texts on Kik from an 18-year-old man she planned to meet just before she disappeared. Kik claims it has more than 240 million users, with 40% of American teens using the app. It is one of many apps FBI agent and father of three, Adam S. Lee, warns parents about.
I'll tell you, the spectrum from cyberbullying to exploitation all the way to overseas terrorist recruiting is happening on applications like this and social media sites.
Kik issued the following statement to NBC News. We have a dedicated team working 24/7 to partner with law enforcement agencies around the world. We are also actively involved in a broader societal effort to educate parents, kids, and law enforcement about online trust and safety. Kik says it has developed new safety features to block, filter, or report inappropriate behavior. Along with teens, Kik has also become well known among child predators, according to police around the country. Last year, a convicted sex offender reached out to NBC affiliate WOOD, warning the app could easily be used to prey on potential victims.
The first thing that I thought was, wow, I can be whoever I want to be.
In just the past year, a number of sexual misconduct charges have been linked to predators seeking out victims online or using similar apps.
The youngest victims we see in an online seduction or exploitation case are as young as 9 and 10.
While many parents monitor their kids' phones, experts warn those efforts may not go far enough. Teaching them the risks, in addition to monitoring, may be your best defense.
Experts say the way to think about your child's smartphone is the way you used to think about the family computer. So for years, we were told you should keep the computer in the open, don't let a child have it in a closed room. So now they say it's the same thing with phones. Don't let them take it to bed at night. Don't let them have it without your supervision.
I've got a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. The two older ones, this is right up their alley. The first app you want people to know about is Kik. We're not saying it's a horrible app, but there are things you should know about
like all of these, they have a great intent. It's when people use them for nefarious purposes. So this one, the attraction for a lot of kids is it's not tied to a phone number or your email. You just have a username, and you can chat with all kinds of people. But there are concerns about other people who could, of course, contact children.
There are apps within the app And that's where you can get in trouble.
And that's a separate concern. There are great things within the app, like, news and information, but there are other things that are not. We reached out to Kick. In a statement, they told us we take a proactive approach to trust and safety and continue to develop and implement technologies and partnerships to keep kids safe.
The next one is called Yik Yak. Tell me about that.
Yik Yak is anonymous, so you can post things anonymously. The rub here is that there's a GPS locator that shares your text with basically anybody else who's in a certain radius. So that's one of the concerns. And then, of course, that this could be used to expose, especially minors, to sexual or inappropriate content.
That seems to be the case. Oftentimes it starts out fine, but then the comments seem to become derogatory.
Right, and the problem is people with bad intent figure out how to use them.
Ask FM.
So again, the idea here is great. You have questions, you post them, people answer them. It's a Q&A format, but you can block any anonymous users if you want, or other users if they concern you. The concern with a lot of parents and educators here is there have been a lot of reports of bullying on this app. Now, Ask FM, we reached out to them as well. In a statement, they told us they spend millions of dollars on user reporting and moderation tools in order to strike the right balance between safety and privacy for users, and say the vast majority of whom are teens and young adults. And just to be clear, we reached out to all of these apps. These are the ones some did not get back to us.
Whisper, a lot of young people use this as a way to confess things, to get things off their chest anonymously, and it can be cathartic.
Right, and that's exactly what it's for. I had a bad day. I had a great day. It's intended...
I did this to a friend, and I shouldn't have.
Right. It's intended for those over 17, but the problem is, of course, it's not just those over 17 who are looking at it. It can become graphic. It can also expose location. So that's a major concern. Again, we reached out to Whisper. We did not get a response. And then the last one here, this is what has a number of parents extra concerned because it exposes the opportunity for these so-called ghost or hidden apps. It's called Best Secret Folder. Now, it looks like a utility folder on your child's phone, but it helps hide content from parents. They also did not respond to our request for comment. Experts say, here's the thing, you may have the passwords, you may look at the phone, but there could be other accounts that kids are setting up, like with these apps where they don't need a phone or an email that you don't know about.
And it's so important for parents to educate themselves about these things. Erica, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Coming up, Culture of Cruelty, a college student video about why she quit her sorority. It's touching a nerve across the country. And Carson on what life was like before Facebook. Right after this.
Caress presents a fine fragrance breakthrough. The world's only body wash with fragrance release pearls. Touch your skin to release fragrance up to 12 hours. New Caress Forever collection. Now available in 4 unforgettable fragrances.
Hi. Hey, you look good. Thank you. I feel good. It all starts with eating right. That's why I eat Amazing Brews now.
They're delicious and help keep my body in balance.
I love these. Sunsweet Amazing Fruits. The feel-good fruit.
Adventures from $5.99, plus up to $300 to spend at sea. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Book now. Offer ends soon.
This is the joy for me. I love bread. I love bread. I now just manage it, so I don't deny myself bread. I have bread every day. I have bread every day. That's the genius of this program. I lost 26 pounds, and I have eaten bread every single day.
They told me I'd never be an athlete, but I'm going to prove everyone wrong. They had the training. You will never be Olympic material. Like what school you went to then? They had the talent. You got more heart than any of those other jumpers out there. But on February 26th, I'm on the team. You might be on the team, but you're not on the list. She'll show them.
It's a world that doesn't want to know you.
So what's new? How high you can soar. You're ready to be eagle, man. Fly. Eddie the Eagle. Rated PG-13.
My moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis made a simple trip to the grocery store anything but simple. So finally, I had an important conversation with my dermatologist about Humira. He explained that Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults saw 75% skin clearance, and the majority were clear or almost clear in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clearer skin is possible.
All year long, you put the time in. You put the work in. Day in and day out. So when your tax refund arrives, make the most of it. Low prices on everything you need to put the fun in your tax refund. Happy tax refund days from Walmart.
We're back at 7:50. Carson's over at his post in the Orange Room, marking a date that changed the world, Carson.
That's right, Savannah. Facebook turning 12 today, and to celebrate, they're out with some new stats, including their community's doubled in size in just the last 5 years. And also, forget the Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation. At this point, there's only 3.57 degrees of separation between any two users on Facebook. This was great. If you watch on Comedy Central, Chris Hardwick's got a great show, and he took a look back at life before Facebook and created this hashtag, Before Facebook I. It became a top trend as people started filling in the blank. Chris kicked it off by writing, before Facebook, I didn't like things like funerals and divorces. Megan writes in, before Facebook, I thought something going viral was a bad thing. Jeff writes in, before Facebook, I knew who my real friends were, but not what they were eating. Richard adds, before Facebook, I imagine it would have been weird if you'd come home and I was looking through all your photo albums. You can keep the fun going here using that hashtag. And of course, happy birthday to Facebook. What do you get the 12-year-old worth $300 billion?
Exactly.
I don't know.
This is the adolescent now, right?
Yeah.
Teenager.
Carson, thank you.
Coming up, the music superstar set to join Mr. Daly and his friends on The Voice.
Plus, supermodel Rachel Hunter on the trip around the world that's given her a new perspective on beauty. But first, on a Thursday morning, a look at your local news and weather.
PB&J. It's just PB&J, unless you make it right. Then it becomes a sandwich as mighty as it is humble. Easier to make than a mistake. As simple as a sunny day, but just as perfect. When you make a PB&J with Smuckers, that's the difference between ordinary, everyday, and exquisitely delicious in an everyday sort of way. Because with a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
I've always been protective of my little sister. But when she got cancer, she was the strong one. She learned while she needed chemo, it could weaken my immune system. But then you found out about Neulasta. Right.
Neulasta helps reduce infection risk by boosting your white blood cell count, which strengthens your immune system. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen. Ruptured spleens, sometimes fatal, as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, allergic reactions, puffiness in face or ankles, change in urine, swelling of stomach area, feeling of fullness, dizziness, or feeling faint to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
Ellie's strong, but she still needs help. Yeah, I do.
Ask your doctor about Neulasta.
Don't miss the Ashley Home Store President's Day sale with savings for every room, like queen beds as low as $3.99. Save big on reclining sofas, now only $7.99. Or buy now and get 5 years no interest. Savings worth celebrating. Hurry into Ashley Home Store. This is home.
To the couple wondering what a good deal looks like. No. Seriously? We'll give it a 6 for composition. Scary. our no haggle price on the window. Not zany enough? Sometimes the best deals are pretty plain to see.
Hershey's Miniatures. We for them,
We pass them.
we pick them. Delicious fun.
For everyone.
Hershey's Miniatures are mine,
Yours.
our chocolate.
We love
Love.
chocolatey
Creamy.
with a little something extra.
Deliciousness.
Cookies,
Or almonds.
yumminess.
Hershey's is mine,
Yours.
our chocolate.
Get more of what you love for less. Hurry into JCPenney for the Super Saturday sale. Spend $25 and get $10 off with coupon on doorbuster items like fine jewelry and bath towels. And get 50 to 80% off with new markdowns and red zone clearance. JCPenney.
Laundry can wreak havoc on our clothes, ruining them forever. Sweaters stretch into muumuus, and pilled cardigans become pets. But it's not you, it's the laundry. Protect your clothes from stretching, fading, and fuzz with Downy Fabric Conditioner. It not only softens and freshens, it helps protect clothes from the damage of the wash. So your favorite clothes stay your favorite clothes. Downy Fabric Conditioner. Wash in the wow.
That's one of my favorite songs. It is?
Oh, yeah.
The rain, snow, and ice. NBC 12 on your side when winter weather strikes. On your side, this is a 12 News Today update.
Good morning. It is 7:56. We had an earlier accident on the ramp from Boulevard to 95 southbound. The accident is clear, as you can see, and traffic is still heavy, though. 95 southbound as you approach Boulevard. Let's take a look at the James River Air Sky View. The accident is clear. It looks like delays are easing a bit, but looking through the Bryan Park interchange, we're seeing delays right now. I-195 northbound, trying to merge on the 64 west and 95 north and southbound. This is normal for this time of the morning. We're right in the height of the rush hour. Accident blocking the left lane in the east end, northbound 295, near I-64. We haven't seen any big backups, and we have a box truck that apparently is stuck on some railroad tracks in the Fair Oaks area, 9 Mile at Hanover Avenue. Police are directing traffic. It may take a while to clear out, so consider maybe using Williamsburg Road as your alternate. And I'm still keeping my eye on this accident that occurred overnight involving a tractor-trailer southbound 95 near Willis Road. All the cars and the tractor-trailer is on the right shoulder. We're not seeing any backups. Andrew?
Okay, Tracy, get ready for the chills to start to build as we head later in the day. Elephant Insurance WeatherNet computers right now. Way up north and west, Appomattox, which is practically Lynchburg. Madison County, way up north and west, down in the 40s, low 50s in Louisa at Lake Monticello and Palmyra. Big-time rain last night. And now we're just kind of sitting and waiting for the chill to work its way into the metro area. Fredericksburg, Louisa, and Charlottesville near 50. It's in the mid to upper 50s in the Richmond metro. It feels a bit like spring out there. Now, earlier this morning, we all trucked into work in the middle of the night. Temperatures were in the mid-60s. They are sliding here, although I know it doesn't feel chilly out there. Gayton Elementary in the mid-50s, also in the 50s down in Chesterfield County. You're going to be in the 40s, I think, this afternoon. And I think it could happen as we head toward midday. We'll drop down into the 40s. A lot of clouds out there, not much rain left, although Sussex has a little rain. The next batch of rain is going to be coming at us through the day. This is a coastal low. This is going to bring more rain to the southeast coast, and we'll probably get some of it. Rain chance goes up through the day. Temperature drops down. And disregard the high temperature because it already occurred in the low 60s. I just kind of put the low 50s so you'd have something that would make a little sense. But dropping off into the 40s through the day. The rain chance goes up above 50% at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then I think it's likely we catch some light to moderate rain this evening. Tonight, changes over to a little bit of wet snow. Probably minimal accumulations on grassy surfaces north and east of Richmond. We're going to watch that closely later in the day. Tomorrow, mid-40s, clearing out. Dry weekend, cold with some snow flying around next week.
Today's traffic is sponsored by James River Air.
Call James River Air to make sure your heating and cooling systems are tuned up and ready for duty.
Closet Factory can't magically make your house bigger. They can't just create new space. Well, actually, they can, because they do what just about no one else does. They build beautiful, space-saving closet systems based on your wants and your present space using computer-aided design and absolutely no prefab or pre-cut materials. The result is a lot more usable space in the same space. And we don't just do closets. Closet Factory can work this same space-building magic all over your home, like your living room.
I'm Teresa Mueller.
And I'm Brian Mueller. What you do in your closet is our business.
Do you have overly sensitive teeth? Do your gums bleed or hurt? Do you want to improve your smile? Are you missing teeth or have bad breath? Do you have receding gums? Are you nervous about going to the dentist? Has it been a while since your last dental visit? Are you looking for a new dentist?
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Blackburn. If you've answered yes to any of these questions and are looking for a practice that offers comprehensive dental care, prompt emergency services, sedation, and complete smile makeovers, then call us at South River Dentistry.
You don't have a house alarm or a gun, and thieves are coming for you. So how do you keep them away? Rachel DePapa reports on a new tool in the quest for home security. Tonight at 11.
Weather and traffic breaking news. NBC 12 News today. Up to the minute you're up.
It's 8 o'clock on Today. Coming up, sororities in the spotlight.
No one should be made to question their self-worth because they don't look a certain way.
The college seniors video and her decision to quit that has some college students rethinking Greek. Plus, pulling back the curtain on the life of a supermodel.
When you think back to those years, what type of memories do you have? Really bad hair. No, I look back and I was a kid.
Rachel Hunter opens up about life as a cover girl, and after 3 decades, why she's now seeing beauty in a whole new light. And what's in a name? From Avida to Zada, we've got an A to Z guide on the brands you're probably mispronouncing. Today, Thursday, February 4th, 2016. Joining us on a what morning here in New York City, and what a great crowd we have out on our plaza. Members of the USO right here. So honored to have them gracing our plaza. We'll give them a big hand. And we're cheering so loudly we can barely hear your awesome Throwback Thursday song, Rock With You by Michael Jackson.
That's right, Rock With You. That's right, gave them 2 choices. They went with this, which is a great one for today.
What was the other choice? Feelings?
After the Rain Has Fallen by Sting.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? All over Michael Jackson is great. That's cool. Coming up, a parenting how-to. The 4 J's, as we like to call them, are back this morning. They're going to show you how to make a game out of anything from cleaning up to making healthier food choices, even teaching your kids about finances.
Yes, start today's Kids Edition is what we're doing this morning. First, though, Natalie's got a check of the top stories. Hey, Nat, good morning.
Hey, guys, good morning once again. Well, Donald Trump demanded on Twitter overnight that Ted Cruz be disqualified as the winner of this week's Iowa caucuses. In Arkansas Wednesday, Trump accused Cruz of stealing victory. He suggested that some Cruz staff members misled Iowans by telling them that Ben Carson was pulling out of the race.
Oh, that voter fraud. You know, these politicians are brutal. They're brutal. They are brutal. They are a bunch of dishonest cookies, I want to tell you.
It is no surprise that Donald is throwing yet another temper tantrum, or if you like, yet another Trumper tantrum.
Well, meantime, Jeb Bush, who finished 6th in Iowa, is expected to be joined on the campaign trail soon by his brother, former President George W. Bush. Hillary Clinton is hoping to narrow Bernie Sanders' lead in New Hampshire during tonight's Democratic debate on MSNBC. She's trailing in the polls ahead of Tuesday's primary. Tension between the two appeared to escalate Wednesday. They traded jabs over who is more progressive.
I do not know any progressive who has a super PAC and takes $15 million from Wall Street.
I was somewhat amused today that Senator Sanders has set himself up to be the gatekeeper on who's a progressive.
And you can watch the Democratic debate moderated by Chuck Todd and Rachel Maddow. That's tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on MSNBC. It was a dark night in Orlando this week when a holdup artist dressed as Batman robbed a pair of dollar stores less than 2 hours apart. The man flashed what appears to be a real gun, but left without hurting anyone. Police are still searching for the wannabe caped crusader. A car ended up in an unusual spot after an accident Wednesday in Southern California. It struck several vehicles that were parked, went airborne, landed on the roof of that garage. Police say the driver, who was injured, suffered a medical emergency before the crash. A crane had to be brought in to remove the car and the driver from the roof. Not sure about the driver's condition.
All right, Natalie, thank you.
All right, now to a call to revamp sorority experiences on college campuses nationwide.
It actually all started with this video from a student and a former sorority member, and it's quickly going viral. Hoda's got the story this morning. Hi, Hoda.
Hi, guys. Her name is Alex Purdy. She joined a sorority to find a welcoming community on a huge college campus, but instead, she says she encountered a culture she describes as disappointing and harmful. When it comes to Greek life, it seems some may rush to judgment.
Definitely preppy, and they like to go out a lot. Like, woo, like parties. That's what I think of.
Now a former sorority member at Syracuse University is pledging to expose what she calls a culture of cruelty.
One of the worst was hearing a sister talk about putting hydroxycut, a weight loss supplement, in a Little's basket.
Since 21-year-old senior Alex Purdy posted this YouTube video a week ago with the hashtag sorority revamp, she says she's received an outpouring of support. Purdy, who happens to be the daughter of an NBC employee, quit her sorority after 2.5 years.
I decided to join and give it all a try, but my values didn't align. It was really the way that the women were treating the other women. To see women in leadership roles telling us that we should care more about what other people think and what we look like. Or hearing sisters telling sisters to dress sluttier at the next formal, so the guys like us.
But some sorority members say this is not a clear picture. Ohio University's Delta Gamma chapter using a series of inspirational photos to launch a campaign called Defying Stereotypes.
We are really committed to holding each other to high academic standards. And our motto is do good, and that we are committed to doing good in all aspects.
The University of Louisville's Delta Zeta sorority also lending a hand to help eliminate preconceived notions.
Being a sorority sister is being the best version of myself that I can be, upholding values. Those that are not in Greek life really aren't able to see all the positive things we do.
And the National Panhellenic Conference tells NBC News sorority membership has changed the lives of millions of women and has even improved graduation rates. The group adding, it shares Purdy's call for a thoughtful dialogue.
I want to focus on the positive and what we can do to change. Right now, it's about opening up the conversation.
And Alex said she made the decision not to name the sorority. Instead, she wants to promote change on a nationwide scale. So we did reach out to Syracuse University, and this is what they said in part. We respect Alex for speaking out and applaud her for having the confidence to do so. Our goal is to provide a safe, positive Greek life experience, and we have taken a number of national proactive steps in recent years to do just that, adding this is important work that will continue. And, you know, I think that there are probably good sororities and bad sororities all over the country, right? And
unfortunately, they end up on this show generally and other shows like it when they do things that are disappointing.
Yes.
And for fraternities as well, but they on a daily basis do a lot
I mean,
of
but there was a
good
real sisterhood. I mean, you two were in sororities.
I was a try-out. I have to say, I was. And really had a great experience. So I guess it just depends.
Stop giving me the secret handshake. Hoda, thank you. Coming up next, a life lesson that one intern received on the very first day of the job.
Good to know. And Jenna Bush Hager catches up with supermodel Rachel Hunter, what she's admitting about her career that might surprise you. But first, these messages.
I'm going to share a photo of my Eggo waffle when it pops up. That's so interesting, honey, because I'm going to share a photo of my Eggo waffle when it pops up.
Lego, Lego.
Lego. My Hey, leave a message. Hi, I know you're there because I can see you. I'm calling you to tell you to Lego my Eggo.
Some things are too delicious to share. Golden, crispy, warm and fluffy Eggo waffles.
Lego my Eggo.
Skincare now becomes Skin Active. New Garnier Skin Active Clearly Brighter. The active daily moisturizer with antioxidant vitamin C that smooths, boosts radiance, and protects. See brighter skin in